over 35 years, we have enjoyed the soulful gospel music of the greatest choir director of all times, Ricky Dillard. He has delivered gospel classics time after time, taking us, taking us to church. Hand clapping and feet stomping songs that comes with a message of hope, joy, and peace. And Ricky has done it again, giving us good gospel music in his newest project, Choirmaster, and reminding us of our roots, gospel music. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ricky Dillard is here and he looks nice.
What you talking about? What are you talking about?
Show us this shirt. Show us this shirt. Yup.
I got my collar on today, you know? Taking the knee. Yes, we are.
You are representing. It is such an honor and a pleasure to have you on this podcast today. So welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you again.
I want to share this testimony with you before I get into our questions. I was not born and raised in church. My father was a cocaine addict. This is in the 80s. And I got saved at 13 years old. And they took me to church and they put me in a choir. And they started singing the song, God is in control. God is in control. Changed my life. I'm forever grateful for your ministry. Changed my life. So thank you for what you do in the Gospel Kingdom ministry.
To God be the glory. Thank you so much for even giving us that testimony. You know, sometimes we don't get to hear personal testimonies of what our music have been to people.
Yeah.
So hear your testimony, the choir piece and all. It is a blessing because, you know, choir is what I do. So
it is.
Have you tell your testimony about it and use the song. Thank you so much for
it. Yeah. So I know you. I know you from being in the music industry. Can you please tell our audience, in your words, who is Ricky Dillard?
Well, I'm Ricky Dillard. I'm a son of Dorothy Dillard, the late Dorothy Dillard. My mother passed away, but I'm a son, a brother. I am also saved. Yeah. I am a gift of joy,
good,
happiness, peace, the fruits of God's Spirit. I am just a regular guy, but who has been given an assignment in the earth that I am passionate about, that I love. Many call me the Choirmaster.
You are.
And I have been doing this for over 40 years. And I'm so thankful to still be doing what I have been called to do all these many years.
Oh my gosh, you are the maestro. You are the choir master. Absolutely. The name of your new project, which we will get in. There are so many singers and directors that literally model themselves after you. So what an honor. What an honor to have you here today. How did you get into music? 40 years. How did you get into it?
Well, it all started as a child. From childhood, my mother and grandmother, they were advocate churchgoers, and they were faithful to church. My grandmother was the church mother. Yes, the mother of our church and the head mother of our church. And my mother was in the choir and an usher.
Okay.
But died as also the head mother of our church.
Come on.
So I was raised with these two spiritual women.
Yeah.
Who raised me in church, and music was a big part of our family, big part of our church. So, you know, seeing many of local or in-house singers, choirs, choir directors influenced me to what I am doing today. And even as a kid, my mother would bring home music, and one of the first albums she brought me home was James Cleveland and Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace. Which released in like 71, 72.
Okay.
And that changed my life. And walked me into the choir boy journey that I am now enjoying. It was that record that
Wow.
sparked choir and sparked gospel music. So I've come from those two places of having music in the house
Yeah.
that my mother loved to listen to, that influenced gospel music, period. And then through the Aretha Franklin and James Cleveland album,
Mm-hmm.
to the choir.
Legendary James Cleveland and Aretha Franklin. My gosh. We know you for hits like Amazing, God is in Control, More Abundantly, Hand Claps, I mean, movements where everyone is in sync. I just always think they're the bomb. How does he do that? Amazing. As a Christian in the state of our country right now, why do you think the music that you write, the music that you direct is so important to us in our current state?
Well, gospel has always been important to our current and past state. What people mainly hear from us is an experience or a walk of life that have been infused in the Word of God, that have allowed us to have faith, hope, and all of the things that sustain us through perilous times. So this music is what carries many of us. It what brings us to life. It brings resurrection, revival.
Yeah.
It gives us what we need to make it from day to day. And that's just the word of the Lord sang.
Come on.
You know, and so I'm thankful to be a part of it. I'm thankful that it is a part of me.
Yeah.
It is a part of the fabric of who I am. And I will die doing this. I will die doing this.
You would, so we're going to see you at like 70, 75 years old.
What you want? I'm doing the Thomas with. I'm gonna be doing the Thomas Doors on, or my finger.
I'm going to be cheering you on. I'm like, go ahead, point your finger, do your thing. Now, your newest project, Choirmaster, robes, these green and yellow and white robes. You took us back. What inspired this new project?
Well, let me just say, I tried to do what everybody is not doing.
Come on, unpack that.
I saw gospel music as I know it shift to this very Caucasian infused sound.
Wow. Unpack that for us.
A white sound.
Okay.
You can't make it no more clear than that. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
All I know is that we were all forced through industry to sing this sound called praise and worship, CCM.
Gotcha.
Christian music.
Yeah.
And most Black music comes from this place. It's a soulful place. It is an experience. It is a walk. It is what Black people have been through.
Yeah.
Our music comes from that place, and that's why it's so hard. And that is why it has so much heart and soul to it.
I'm telling you.
Because it comes from a very hearty place.
Yeah.
And I saw gospel just change, you know what I'm saying? So when we were getting ready for this record, E.J. Gaines and Monica Coates at Motown, they was like, do you? And I was like, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Yeah, we just want you. And I had been in that hearty place already, gathering songs to do me anyway, because when I got to the Stellars before I signed, they asked me what did I wanted to do at my last Stellar performance. And I knew I didn't want to go with any praise and worship because I know everybody on the show is going to be doing this either secular sounding music or this new wave of praise and worship. And I was like, somebody got to be doing gospel the way we know it.
Gotcha. And you killed it.
I decided to go with I've Got the Victory.
Yep. It was amazing.
Very moment, and I said, this is what we missing.
When
they told me that I could do me, I said, this is what I want to present. I want a hearty gospel churchy album, but I didn't do it all alone. I had a great team at Motown around me as we created my idea. They agreed that choir robes would be appropriate to this comeback of the choir, in this regard that we have new choirs on the scene like Kanye West and the Samples.
Huge.
Now helped us to move choir music to a more wide range of people.
Gotcha.
To a secular place, or to a place where people are noticing choir.
Absolutely.
Gospel. So I signed with Motown, and I had just began to put songs together, and I said, Lord, I really want to be effective in a different way this time with bringing this actually back to its original state, to the forefront. But as I was making the record, Mr. Gaines said, when can we get a record from you? I signed in June, and he called me like the end of June and was like, when can we get a record? I said, let's start at the top of 2020.
Yeah.
And he said, oh no, we need a record in 3 months.
Wow.
So I had to put my big boy britches on. Work.
And you got to work.
Signed with Motown Gospel, which is a big, profound name.
Big. You have some amazing label mates. Yes.
Amazing label mates.
Yeah.
And the legacy of Motown, the name Motown period, has its own stance to it that you can't deny. So I had to put my bridges on, and I just began to get songs and get music and put a record together and write songs. And what you hear on Choirmaster is what the Lord gave me. We decided to put mics up in September of 2019.
Okay.
And we cut Choirmaster live in Chicago. I decided to go back to the very first church that I ever recorded in.
All right.
Which we did our first album called The Promise. On the Promise album was a song that we opened up the night with, and it was called I've Come to Give You Life. I've come that you might have life more abundantly.
Remember that?
And when we were getting ready to cut the Choirmaster record, I thought to resurge it again, because I started singing it on the road again, and it was getting...
Thank you for tuning into part 1 of my interview with the choirmaster himself, Ricky Dillard. Find his newest project where all music can be found, and enjoy the good gospel music of Ricky Dillard and New G.